What's up everyone, Silver Slayer, welcome back for another video. Today I'm going to be talking about a question that comes up a lot on my channel. Someone actually commented asking if junk silver would be the appropriate type of silver for bartering situations or like a SHTF situation. And in the comment he was saying that he thought premium or generic silver would be a safer and more appropriate type of silver to have for bartering or trading situations over constitutional silver. And his points were that he thought that more people would recognize generic silver over than constitutional silver. And I don't really agree with that. I would have to disagree a little bit. I think junk silver would be the appropriate type of silver for an SHTF situation. And I've made several videos about this in the past, but I'm just going to kind of recap on some of the benefits of junk silver. And the main thing that I always talk about is that it's the best type of silver to stack for fractionals. If you have a 1 ounce silver coin and you want it to, if you need to make change or if you're trading for something that's worth less than an ounce, you can't cut a 1 ounce silver coin in half. So junk silver is perfect for fractionals where you have your mercury dimes, you have the half dollars and even the quarters. So it's a perfect way to store fractionals for cheap. You can get generics in fractional form, but they have to stamp it, and it's a lot. They have higher premiums on the fractional side of things. So for that way, I think it's definitely a cheaper and more beneficial way. And it's also trusted. Generic silvers, a lot of these mints are companies or mints that you've never heard of. So if you're bartering or in a situation where someone can't test the silver right off bat, then you might come in conflict more than you would if you had a mercury dime or a walking liberty half dollar where someone knows that it's a government-backed coin. They know there's actually 90% silver in there. So it might give the person that you're bartering with a little bit a more sense of ease than if you had some random generic coin that they've never heard of, the maker or anything like that. So those are definitely some good points. Another thing with junk silver is it's really easy to store. You don't have to buy capsules. You don't have to store them in tubes. You don't have to worry about them getting milk spotted. You can just throw them in a bin or whatever you care to store them in. You don't have to worry about them getting dinged up. So it will cost you some money on that side of things as well, not having to worry about paying for the extra storage that comes along. Another reason is they don't make it anymore. These coins, no one's making mercury dimes anymore, walking liberties, so they might start to almost grow a premium side or a numismatic value, almost like Morgan half dollars do nowadays, or Morgan dollars do nowadays. You don't, if you look at junk silver at almost like as a numismatic value, the longer time goes on, 10, 20 years from now, who knows what the premiums might be on these coins, because if you have a low supply and a high demand, that shoots the price up. Well, more of these coins are getting melted down, so they're even becoming more rare or harder to find. So there's definitely potential for them to start growing almost a numismatic value. But for a bartering situation, I definitely think that generics generics would not be the route to go for the reasons I just explained. I definitely think constitutional silver would be much safer. You don't want to have the last thing you want in a SHTF situation is for the person you're bartering with to be skeptical or to not trust the silver you have. That could be a very dangerous situation. And most people do recognize constitutional silver. So if I was to, well, let's say you're stacking silver, because I guess if you're stacking silver for situations compared to just investing, it might depend on that can vary in the type of silver you buy. If I were just buying silver to invest as a long-term form of storing my wealth into something that has intrinsic value, I'm gonna have a different mind state while purchasing silver compared to stacking it for like a doomsday type prepper situation. You know, that definitely varies. If you're trying to buy for investing, then you can buy in bulk. You can buy 10-ounce bars, you know, even 20-ounce bars, because you know you can get them for cheaper premiums, especially you know the bigger in bulk you buy, usually the better discount you can get. But if you're looking at it for a prepper type situation, you don't want to have 10-ounce bars, you know, especially you have to think about who you're selling to. You know, if I have a 10 or 20-ounce bar that's worth several $100s, especially if silver does appreciate in spot value or spot price, who's going to be able to afford to buy that couple $1,000 bar if you've margined down your window of potential clientele to a very small window, unless you're selling it to a retailer like APMEX or something like that. So when you're selling, you also, or even bartering, you definitely want to think about the target, the target reach that you have of the potential of that coin or bar getting sold. You definitely uh, don't want to put yourself in a hole where you have a 20-ounce bar is worth several $1,000s and you have no one to sell it to, so you're stuck with it. You know, so that's always why I say the fractional route is definitely safer, unless you know that you're going to sell it back to like someone like APMEX or somewhere that has the funds to actually purchase it back from you. So that's something definitely to look at. But for the sake of this video, I just wanted to recap on constitutional silver, because a lot of people do. It's a controversial topic, you know. When I started buying junk silver, I started with just the main, you know, Mercury dimes. You guys can see in that stack right there, you know, Mercury dimes, you know, Walking Liberties, you know, the half dollars are my favorite. But I also do, it's a piece of treasure, you know. It's history, you know. So there's definitely so much potential that could be. There's more potential in junk silver than I think people realize, and especially if you're looking, I don't know that exact charts that I'm sure you can look up charts that show like the actual supply that have been minted each year for, you know, the Barber half dollars or the Barber quarters, and I know that it definitely is rapidly decreasing because people are melting it down. So I couldn't imagine 10, 20 years from now what the premiums on these coins could be. Even key dates, you know, you have to think about, some of these have key dates, there's only a couple thousand minutes, you know, so there's definitely a lot more potential than just having generic silver for fractional, especially in bartering situations. I definitely would go the junk silver route. But what do you guys think? When I read that comment, the person that was commenting on the video that left this remark or question seemed to go more of the generic route, and I'm curious on why people would think that, especially because I think people would recognize a Walking Liberty half dollar over a random half ounce silver round from like Sunshine Mint or something, you know, especially having to pay the premiums, and then with those, you know, they are graded on condition. I mean, unless you purposely just like leave them out to get milk spots and stuff, but they do vary on condition. You know, if I was to buy a generic round, like a half ounce or even like a 10th ounce coin, and I let it get dinged up, and then I resold it to, let's say, APMEX or even on eBay, the price of that coin is going to vary on, or going to depend on, the condition as well. So I could lose some of the premium that I'm purchasing back from that coin, depending on if I kept it in a capsule or not, or let it get milk spots. So that's not the case with constitutional silver. I guess it does go off grade, you know, VG or they do have a grade system like that, but in a bartering situation that's not really going to matter. And I guess that could work for generics as well. Even if a generic is dinged up, it's going to go off the intrinsic value, which is the actual amount of silver in that coin. And that's what I also talk about when I'm talking about intrinsic value. No matter what spot price is, you know, if a 1 ounce silver coin has 1 ounce of silver in it, that is the value. It doesn't matter on the condition. And that's why we invest in things with intrinsic value compared to the dollar, which is basically worthless, just a piece of paper, or anything that doesn't have real value in it, you know. So intrinsic assets are definitely the way to go for any type of prepping, bartering, SHTF situation, or even investing. When you look at potential. You want to invest in things that have potential. I've talked about all the benefits of silver. There's several benefits of silver from, from so many things. The technological age that we're going in, from dental alloys, space equipment, the coins, jewelry, so many things, electronics, and a lot of it isn't, it gets scrapped out of gold. A lot of gold gets remelted in jewelry and stuff, but silver, a lot of it's lost. It doesn't get scrapped out of the laptops and cell phones and stuff. So we are losing it a lot quicker than we are gaining it out of the ground that we're digging it up. So there is a lot more potential in that, and that's why investing in anything with intrinsic value is highly important. But also diversification is key. When I'm talking about constitutional silver, dimes, half dollars, quarters, anything like that. There's no specific that that needs to be looked over more than another. And also for SHTF, I also think Eagle, American Eagle, stuff like that are also very good coins to stack for a prepping situation. People are gonna recognize an American Eagle all over the world. That's a recognizable coin worldwide. So that's also a safer route to go than having just a random sunshine or like a Volcambi bar that your potential bartering partner might not know. I mean, if anyone is into silver at all, even a little bit, they'll probably recognize an American Eagle. Even people that don't stack silver, but you have to pretty much be a silver enthusiast to know what a sunshine mint is. So that also, you got, those are some things to think about. And I just hope I kind of jogged your ideas and jogged your mind to really recognize if you are a prepper on which direction you're stacking, because that definitely does depend. Also, if you're buying silver or constitutional silver, I prefer local coin shops. If you buy them off AppMex and places like that, usually you're going to have to pay more of a premium. Use your local coin shop. You can get some pretty good deals. I know my local coin shop, since I built a relationship with them, I usually can get some cheaper deals than if I was just a new customer in there. So building relationships is also very important. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below on your thoughts on this topic. I know it's pretty controversial. There's a lot that goes into it, especially because we don't really know in a real SHTF situation what would happen, or it also depends from person to person on who recognizes what or who feels comfortable bartering with what. And it also might be personal preference. All of you guys stack for your own reasons, have different selling time frames, buying time frames, financial situations. So it really all does just depend on personal preference. But I hope I kind of just overlooked all of the thoughts that go behind it, because it is such a controversial topic. And if you don't agree, it's fine. I'm just kind of sharing my perception on it, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.